Okay, this will be an interesting one. Going to enlarge it a bit, fair amount. Oops, I'm itchy, sorry folks. Okay, let's see what I can do with this. Going to make it negative positive for this one. Nose is getting full of boogers. I have to blow them out sometime this afternoon, guys. I don't have a cold, fortunately. I still have to clean my nasal passages every day. Otherwise, it's like you got boogers up there that just slip around inside, move around inside, and it's really irritating. It's annoying. But what am I doing talking about fucking boogers? This hasn't even got anything to do with the nose or the boogers. Let's see what we can do with this. If we make this come up a treat. This will be a real funny one. Well, it's not a funny one, but it's going to be interesting, I hope. It's quite colourful. And let's see how we go with this. Right. What do we got? We got here Ku-ring-gai Art Centre. Okay, it's just another piece of boring community art shit. I don't like this community shit. It's not my thing, so we're just putting it this way. It's not my thing. The only thing I did go to for community art was I did stained glass and LED. Actually, it wasn't stained glass, it was just LED lighting, making windows out of coloured glass. And that was one thing I enjoyed. Another thing I did enjoy, actually, was not art class, but the same art workshop had a photocopier there. So I used to make monochrome photocopies of green and black photocopies. And basically, yeah, this looks good. And basically, yeah, they used to charge me like really cheap for single colour and green and black. I think it used to be like they charged me 2 cents a copy. This was at the Forest, what was called the Forest Community Arts Centre. And it was really nice going there at night. I think my mum was doing art classes when I used to go up there, and this is what we're going to photocopy this. This looks really good. So basically, yeah, it was a nice place to go to, and you get cheap photocopies. And I did go in an art contest there, and yeah, but the thing is, basically my photocopying stuff came to an end, however, because someone had stuffed up their copier. There's this thing that they used that you can put through, well, at least with old machines, transparencies, like pieces of plastic or celluloid designed to go through the copier, and it's supposed, you got to have the correct transparencies, overhead transparencies they call, or OHP for short. And a lot of people make the error or the mistake, whatever you want to call it, of putting through transparencies that are designed exclusively to be written on with a marker pen or whatever to make. And someone had put one through that was not capable of withstanding the high temperatures that the photocopier produced when the toner gets heated onto the paper and crushed onto the paper, heat and pressure onto the paper. This stupid transparency, surprise, surprise not, melted into the photocopier's fuser assembly, the hot part of the photocopier. That's why your papers are all warm when they come out of a toner-based system. Not inkjet. It's different to inkjet. This stuff uses these photocopiers like this one use a powder, and it's made out of a plastic material, mostly like styrene, polystyrene based, and basically it gets heated so it melts onto your paper. But when you put the wrong transparencies through that are not capable of withstanding the high temperatures, well, the transparency melts, and like cheese on toast, it goes everywhere and it fucks up the fuser assembly of the copier. You got bits of bloody plastic burnt onto the rollers, and you have to call a technician to come and fix it, and that voids your service agreement, or at least you end up paying money to have a technician do what's called a do in charge, which means your service agreement doesn't cover the wreckage you created with these stupid transparencies. So you end up with this melted cheese-like material on your fucking photocopier, and you can't use your photocopier. So you've got to call the technician, and they fucking have to remove it, and it's a fucking mess. So yeah, it's like that, and I'm going to make the horizontal a bit longer. We don't want this. We want to get rid of that to make our mirror image look even better. So we're going to make it probably 100 and going to call it 108 on the horizontal. So that should work well. But basically, yeah, you end up with something in your photocopier that looks like maybe a clear version of plasticky version of melted cheese. Or maybe it's not quite that melted, but it's pretty close, and it causes damage to the photocopier. So basically, they decided to ban anyone except the staff working there from using the photocopier themselves. So no more cheap photocopies for me, no more having fun with monochrome colour, with black and all that sort of shit. Even though I knew what I was doing and they knew, I still had to get banned from it, because they had to make sure that this would never happen again, and it was a blanket ban. So it was a blanket ban, and that I do believe that they know that I wouldn't have done that, but they had to make a blanket ban. It was only fair to the other people, I guess, that they had to ban everyone, including me. So I didn't stuff it up. Some stupid idiot did, and they made it difficult for the rest of us, including myself. And I was really disappointed. I used to have so much fun there, using their little Canon machine. I forgot what model it is exactly. I think it was a 3825, but it was a load of fun, It was really cool, and I was only young then, and I was really upset. I didn't cry over it, of course. I wasn't that upset, but I was pretty pissed with the people or the person who damaged the machine. I'm really annoyed with them, I was. But that's it, Sometimes good things come to an end because other people make it so. It's like the old saying, it only takes one person to ruin it for the rest of the people. One stupid fucking idiot like that. So they just put the wrong plastic media through, and that's what you get. Fucking melted toner on the rollers. Not melted toner, correction. Melted transparency or plastic. Basically clear plastic melted onto the fuser rollers. Not good. So the technician has to extract the mess from the machine, and that costs money. So basically the art centre would have paid money to call a technician in to fix the fucking mess. And that basically they pay for the do in charge, and it's expensive. Calling a technician when you're not got a service agreement is extremely expensive. That's why I had to get a new machine, because my old machine, because the spare parts couldn't be guaranteed by Konica Minolta, they had to take away the service agreement, and they charged me a cheaper rate. But if my machine broke down, and basically I had to get a new one, because I would have had to go on a do in charge. I would have paid for the technician first to rock up to the premises. Then I would have paid for the hours he put in. And then I would have had to pay for the spare parts, which are not guaranteed anyway. So fuck. Basically, I had to get a new machine. But that's it. It's not Mytronics' fault, which is the company that maintains my machine. It's Konica Minolta. It's their fault. And they pass it on to Mytronics, which is not fair. So Konica Minolta, you can go fuck yourself.